Hello everyone, just checking things here, making sure everything is set up. There we go. Okay, let's get... Okay, Sorry, that took some time to set up. First question, if anyone is there, could you tell me if my audio sounds okay? Just because I have not streamed in a long time. In the past, I had some trouble with the audio. It's kind of random and arbitrary. I mess around with the settings, but a lot of times it just depends on the game. So if you're in the chat, if you can see if the audio is okay, if there's any echo or if it sounds like a robot or static or something, please tell me, because I haven't streamed on this platform in a long time. I think the last time was just after or just before I left for Ukraine. All right, so I think most of you have an idea why we are here. And I mean, it's this is one of these things where events are unfolding faster than you can really monitor them, because all day today, there are these statements by Mr. Prigozhin, statements about how the war was started, and it was a lot of people just thought this was his typical Prigozhin drama. Prigozhin's a bit of a drama queen, and I think the idea was he's just grumbling again. He's got his problems with Shoigu, he's got his problems with Gerasimov, and just a little bit worried because I'm not seeing anything in the chat, and I'm watching on I don't have my laptop set up, so I got my phone set up for the other screen. I used to be able to see the chat just fine. I'm just not seeing any comments, so please say hi somebody just so we can make sure something's going on. But while I'm waiting for that, so Prigozhin, wow. So yeah, he was making these statements earlier today. Some people were telling me don't take it too seriously. It's his grumbling, this sort of inter-service rivalry, and okay, getting the submarine here. Not gonna make the obvious reference. Okay, I don't remember how to pilot this thing. How do we go down again? There we go. Okay, that's the underwater reactor. Okay. I'll stay away from him. That is Emerald weapon. He will mess you up, especially at where I am right now. Okay, so sorry, I keep getting distracted. So the thing was, Prigozhin is just he's just bullshitting what's going on. Now we know that he was not. He was very serious, and now we have an attempted coup on our hands. I don't think the idea in his head is to go all the way to Moscow and overthrow Putin. I think he still thinks he has Putin on his side. And I think, second here, we need to re-equip our guys. Should heal them first. Let's go to Kate Sith. Yeah, so I think Prigozhin thinks that Putin is going to step in and back him, but I think he has made a serious miscalculation. And, yeah. And this is not going to end well for him at all. Bolt ring. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm still not seeing any chat stuff. I'm just gonna bring the chat up. Just have a look here. Just wondering why I don't see it. I'm just concerned because I don't know if my audio is good. Like I said, there we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, okay. I said the music shouldn't be a problem because it's a directional mic. That's weird. The volume was down pretty low. Okay, sorry about that. I do see you now. Okay, so if we took care of the echo. Okay, if we took care of the echo now, let's get turned up just a little bit. Should have put my headphones on, to be honest. But the mic should not be picking up too much of the speaker. Okay, now they're saying the audio is fine, so I guess it's just a little bit of picking it up. Okay, let's save here. Actually, no, let's get this first. Heavens Cloud. That is... Let's just see what that even is. Dobro ranku to the person in Ukraine. Yeah, so I'm trying to... I need to get my... Hang on a sec. I need to bring my phone closer to me because I can't see the little chat messages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up by my speaker. I'm sorry, see, I don't have my laptop set up because I haven't... Yaku? Yeah, okay, now I can see. I'm surprised the... let's see... Being directly captured, but it should be directly captured, but I have an idea. 1 second. Let's bring... This is weird because I never had to turn that down as much before. Usually wasn't such a problem. Okay. Alright, so yeah, back to the coup. So basically, it's... I mean, there is an uprising, maybe an attempted coup. I really don't think he's going against Putin. Like I said, I think he's dumb enough to think that Putin will take his side. And, where's that? Ah, there we go. Heavens, oh, that's a sword. Let's see what that, does. So I think he thinks that if he just shows how strong he is, you know, they're going to get rid of Shoigu or whatever, but this is just ridiculous. I think he's completely lost the plot. So far, he's off to a good start. They've seized the headquarters of the Southern Military District in Rostov-on-Don. That is very serious. What's this guy? 93, but does it have the materia? Oh, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that because it doesn't have link materia. Okay. Shit, what were we using before? We were using the crystal sword. Okay, sorry about that. There we go. Got something else for that later. Okay, so yeah, so they've taken over the Southern Military District, and the issue with that... Oh, we're gonna save here. The issue with that is that Rostov-on-Don was a major military hub for the Russian military well before 2014. It was like the gateway to the Caucasus during the Chechen Wars, for example. Everything runs through there. And then when you had in 2014 when they started the war, Rostov-on-Don was basically where they sort of ran that war from. That is where the Russian forces, they had headquarters there, they had military hospitals there for anyone who got wounded. Oh no, abnormal breath. I hope someone has the ribbon on. Oh, now he's got confused now. So that's where they were running the Donbass wars out of Rostov-on-Don. And now, the Southern Military District has been... Okay, we need to do something about this. Yeah, this is not good at all. Okay. Gotta kill this thing. Luckily we have counterattack. Probably going to lose to this guy. That's why I saved. I forgot this had some pretty powerful enemies on it. Let's see what goes on. Yeah, now we're both confused. Okay, well, since I'm probably fucked right now, yeah, much like Russia's military is. Yeah, they are not in good shape at all. That's funny. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone here. Let's load the game, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back. I've just been doing some side quests lately, and that's funny. Um, yeah, let's just go back for now. I'll handle this when I have time to pay attention because I keep having to interrupt myself. I'm just reading the chat for a second. So, yeah, so people are talking about the what kind of black magic I used to cause this in my last video. And yeah, if I hope, and pretty much all of you have probably seen my latest video where I dealt with dumb arguments about the war in Ukraine, and and then like this happened. It was really funny because obviously, like, you know, that video caused a lot of butt mad and a lot of Russia fans. I always feel sorry for many of these Russia simps. Many of them are typically Westerners who've never been to Russia in their life. They really know nothing about the country, and it's just really amusing. But then, you know, as if to highlight this, because, you know, some of these people are coming in there and they're saying, like, oh, the failed counteroffensive and everything. And it's like, oh, man, watch your mouth. You are jinxing yourselves. And look what happened. Now Russia has lost a battle to Russia. Again, this time not these rebel forces in Belgorod Oblast. Because Belgorod Oblast, I was telling people, it doesn't really matter that much. They really do not care that much. And now, look, Wagner has basically taken Rostov-on-Don. They've taken over the Russian Southern Military District. Like I said, very crucial supply hub, especially now as the Ukrainians are starting to cut off the bridges from Crimea, and they control, under fire control, they can hit a lot of those railroads going across the southern part of the country. So right where they are attacking. Can we land here? I thought we could land on this. Okay. But yeah, right where they are attacking at the moment, what you have is, let's see. Sorry, I'm just overwhelmed with the stuff I'm seeing right now. But yeah, right where they're attacking, you know, where the Ukrainians are attacking, the supply lines of the troops in front of them are starting to come under serious threat. And now, probably a big part of that threat, maybe even more than the Storm Shadow missiles hitting the bridges at like Chongar and stuff like that, the threat is coming from Prigozhin over there by what do you call Rostov-on-Don? Because, like I said, it's a major military supply hub, and they're talking about fighting to the death. And what are you going to do if you want to fight to the death? You've taken over the supply hub. What do? You know, you pull a John Brown and you raid the armories. And there's, I'm pretty sure there's ample supplies of arms. There's ample supplies of arms coming through Rostov-on-Don into Ukraine. Now the Wagner guys need that to survive. So I don't think, I mean, if this turns into a siege thing, I don't think they'll be able to hold out very long. But one way they'll do that is by taking every piece of military equipment, every every cartridge that they can get their hands on, so that they can hold out to the death. You know, and if Russia has anybody who would actually fight to the death, it would likely be these Wagner guys. You know, they're not really a hard people there, contrary to what a lot of people think. And hey, from Kharkiv, I'll be going back there very soon. That is where I do business. Actually, I do business everywhere. But yeah, no, this is hilarious. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this half the time. Like I said, I haven't streamed anything in a long time, so this is very unprepared. This is very on the fly. I'm using my phone as a second monitor, but I just have to say something about this. This is just nonsense. Just trying to think of what side quest I should do right now. Got my ass kicked on the underwater airplane there. Let's mess around on this beach a little bit. The problem is a lot of these places my characters are too leveled up, and they'll easily win. Yeah. So no, like this is just really great because I think what people understand, people are looking at the counteroffensive, and the people declared it failed. I want to say, like, what were you expecting it to look like? What do you think it should look like before you tell me it failed? Because everyone was looking at these, like, pictures from different angles of, like, one tank and some Bradleys knocked out. At least one tank has already been recovered. I think one was a total write-off. I know at least one Bradley was recovered. But what they were forgetting is at the same time, while that was going on, Ukraine was making gains. They were making gains, bigger than the territory that Russia took in Bakhmut within about 48 hours. They took back territory that Russia has controlled since 2015. So things are moving. There's no collapse on the front. They've just breached the first line now in one area. There's no like total collapse or anything like that, but it is coming. Especially with what's going on in Rostov now. They have big problems. And what you got to understand is that I said this in the video that I made just before I left at the beginning of April last year. I said Ukraine has what they call internal lines. And that gives them some better ability to move forces around, to move resources around, so that they can counter different threats, and so that they can, respond to different threats, but also exploit opportunities. And guess what? All that's still true now. So, what we're seeing in the South may not even be what we should be looking for. Something could happen up north, near Svatove, something like that. Very easily could happen. So, like I said, it's almost like what's happened now is like a gift from the heavens. It's like a gift from the heavens when all these people are mocking and saying, look at your Western equipment failed, your counteroffensive has failed. And, there's that guy that does the funny thumbnails, the History Legends guy, just saying the counteroffensive needs to be called off, because, it took casualties, like, failed, right? Every real successful counteroffensive, or any offensive for that matter, needs to be a no death, no damage run, right? Because that's how war works, right? Anyway, so he's posting shit like that, and then like, look what happens. Like it's almost what I said in the video I said right before the counteroffensive, where I said I would expect it later than sooner. And I said in there, I said, what's really going to happen is it's going to get to some point where the mockery reaches critical mass. And when the mockery reaches critical mass, when they start saying, how's your counteroffensive doing? It failed. Where's the big counteroffensive? You're losing troops. Your tanks aren't working, blah, blah, blah. And then when that reaches critical mass, something is going to happen, and they're going to get utterly embarrassed like they did with Kharkiv and Kherson. Now it's even worse, because now it's like the Rostov, the Southern Military District, the headquarters, the guys who have been running the war in Ukraine since 2014, they are under siege. Their officers fled. They have been taken over by a private military company that was initially created by the Russian Ministry of Defense. It is not truly a private military company. It isn't. It started out really as this way for them to do. Well, actually, okay, they tried to make a PMC. They call it the Slavonic Corps. It was a bunch of Russian neo-Nazis, basically in 2013. They got arrested because in Russia there's no law governing PMCs. It's not a legal thing. But at some point they saw the use of this. The Russian government did. So the Ministry of Defense, gave them training and everything, and everything they do is run in coordination with the Ministry of Defense. But as you can see, this has become a problem at the moment. Somebody was asking if I'm still fighting. Well, obviously, what I'm fighting right now is in Final Fantasy, but I've got my ticket booked. I'm going back to Ukraine. Don't think that this is going to be over very soon. I was predicting somewhere like, next year, beginning of next year, the middle of next year. But you know what? That timetable's shifting now. Because I'll tell you this about Wagner. There is this incorrect assumption that Wagner is, they got associated with the prisoners and these untrained guys, and, they were just pushing them around with drones and making them do human wave attacks. And, they were doing that, but they also kind of contained the core of, Russia's best, most experienced fighters. They were pretty good. They were pretty innovative. They're nasty, disgusting war criminals who, as far as I'm concerned, should not be covered under the Geneva Convention. In fact, you could argue that they're not, as they claim to be mercenaries. But, if we're just talking about military competence, they certainly had that. Had being the operative word here. But yeah, it is not looking good. Somebody is asking about what the pro-Russian reaction is, and there's a bunch of these idiots like David Sachs and Ian Miles Chung, all these these incel nerds, crypto bros, venture capitalists, zero military experience between all of them. That's what I was looking for. Hang on one second. All right. Someone mentioned Hinkle. All these guys, they are having quite a day. I don't even remember what this thing is. Several thousand years old. Okay. But yeah, no, they're into space. Apparently, Hinkle's having a meltdown. He's just trying to say, he's saying this isn't really a coup. Putin is just trying to consolidate power because, of course, Putin has everything under control. Prigozhin just wanted to reorganize the Ministry of Defense. He wants to get rid of Shoigu. Well, Putin can get rid of Shoigu anytime he wants. He's fired ministers of defense before. That is a thing he can do. Just wanted to go back this way. Sorry, there's not much gameplay going on right here. I'm forgetting what I was trying to do because, like I said, I'm just doing some side quests now. But like E. Miles Chung is saying, this is not a coup. E. Miles Chung has zero political expertise in anything. He wrote like a video game column called Incel Corner or something like that. E. Miles Chung is a dude in Malaysia who doesn't know jack shit about anything except basically doing clickbait and preying on the most naive, emotionally manipulated people you can find. And that's basically it. This is what I was looking for? Yeah, okay. Okay, we need to leave. No. We need to get off the sub, and I'm trying to remember how to do that. There we go. Okay. All right, there should be a cave back here, and we're going to get someone's final limit break. Hinkle is just having... I'm not Sephiroth. Why do you call me Sephiroth? Okay. There's supposed to be something happening here. Maybe we're supposed to return here later, like in the third disc or something. Anyway, yeah. Hinkle's having the big meltdown because apparently he is trying to basically do damage control. And now I'm seeing Barbieheimer. I want to see both of those actually. But yeah, actually, a better question. Here's the question for you, for anyone here though, is what does Prigozhin go to see? Does he see Barbie or Oppenheimer? What does Shoigu go to see? Because I think that the results may have something to do with that. Whichever guy, we don't know which is superior, Barbie or Oppenheimer, but whichever guy sees the right movie is likely to come out on top in this power struggle. So it all comes down to, is it Barbie or Oppenheimer? Which one has the best vibes? Otherwise, like I said, it's like it's like the end of Indiana Jones: and the Last Crusade. Spoilers. Choose wisely. So. Okay, unfortunately, we're getting a little bit of static. Like I said, it could be my connection. We had it cleared up a little bit earlier. Well, like I said, I haven't streamed in a long time. I'm not a huge fan of what's going on right now, but I mean, I had to say something, and I don't have the time to make an edited video on this, but this is just too much. It's like what's it, Sarah Lynn on BoJack Horseman, her old catchphrase. It's too much, man. Okay, where the hell is I gonna go with this thing? Oh yeah, okay, we're gonna go to Midgar. Yeah, so to answer Easy 8, if I remember correctly, one of my most loyal patrons, so thank you for that. The Russian army will crush this, I think, but what they have a problem with is, and this seems to be their problem responding to what was going on in Belgorod Oblast. I thought it was just kind of low priority, and I still think it, that Belgorod Oblast is very low priority for Russia. But what I think is the problem that they have is they have trouble consolidating enough guys and vehicles and ammo to do anything useful, basically. Like right now, they might have to consider artillery strikes on the center of Rostov-on-Don. It's not a great prospect. They're going to have to see if they can find some hardcore VDV guys left. They'd have to take experienced guys off the front, probably, because it seems to me what's happening is the Rosguardia and the ordinary conscripts and everything are too afraid. Just like they were so timid in Belgorod Oblast. Now they got to go up against the guys who execute dudes with sledgehammers. So what they need to do to stiffen the back there is they need to go in there with some very heavy equipment, very motivated guys, and they need to nip this in the bud, and I'm not sure they can. I think that they will. I mean, it's Wagner. He claims to have 25,000 guys. Okay, well, then you have to supply 25,000 guys. That's not easy to do, especially when your logistics systems is Russia. But, yeah, like, the Russian army will defeat this. They may try to make some kind of deal. Prigozhin may make some kind of deal, but I don't think this is going to end well for him. This is really egregious, and I think like he decided to make this big gesture and thought it would impress Putin, but you don't rock the boat with Putin. That's the thing Putin hates the most, is when people act unpredictable. I mean, besides him, and when they start digging. When people act unpredictable, and when they act with too much initiative, and they rock the boat, and they, cause problems. Yeah, Tyler's asking if this changes anything about me going back to Ukraine. Now I'm worried that there's going to be this big collapse on the front. I'm not going to get to do much work. No, my ticket is. For OPSEC reasons, I won't say exactly when, but it's coming very soon. And then, of course, I have to, I have to go there, get my ID back when I get back in country, and find someone to work with and see what we're going to do. But yeah, I mean, this does, I think, speed things up. I don't think that you know, politically, this is so ridiculous when they've been saying, Russians know very well now that this is not going according to plan, and all this cope about how no, we're really fighting NATO. Like, I saw some of that in my comments. I like the bullshit comments that I got on my latest video. I just delete those because, you know, hey Goblin, how's it going? I just delete those because it's bullshit. Like, I'm not going to argue with somebody who makes arguments predicated on the idea that the world is flat, right? In the same vein, if you're saying something like Ukrainian Nazis persecuting Russian speakers and the failed counteroffensive, like, I'm sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to dignify this with response. And I saw one of these people was saying, like, well, you have to consider that Russia's actually fighting like a NATO country. No, it isn't. You are not fighting a NATO military. Like, period. Okay, I gotta remember how to do this. There we go. Bomb. Turn that down. Okay. So, oh shit, everyone's looking over here. That's not good. Be about right here. Okay. Yeah, so you know, that's the copium that we're actually fighting NATO and everything. Like, that's wearing thin. The Belgorod Oblast thing, Russians don't really give a crap about other places far away from them in Russia, so that's not a big deal either. But now it's like your Wagner heroes with, you know, with all of the PR that they've been doing, they've attacked Rostov and they have taken over. And here's the thing. Okay, the Russians took about 6 days in the beginning of the war to take an oblast capital, Kherson. Well, actually, I think it was more than 6 days is when they reached it. They reached it fairly quickly, and when they did, it took them like 6 days to take that city. They don't really control any other oblast capitals that they did have in 2014 now. By contrast, Wagner, I mean, well, look what they had to spend in terms of lives and blood just to take Bakhmut, a small town in Ukraine. Now, Wagner alone takes Rostov-na-Tonu, a much bigger city, a very important city, an oblast capital, takes it in a day. You know? I don't want the potion. Okay, we're trying to get this key. We already got the lunar harp. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay, normal treasure. Okay, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a special weapon. Yeah, so, yeah, but I just want to say another thing about comments. So, like, one of my favorite, hate comments that came in today, this guy, like, if you're ever, I hate when people use Reddit as an insult because it's like, it's so lazy. You're not saying anything, right? But this is the most Reddit thing ever. This guy put a 48-point list with time codes, and he's got a comment, like a rebuttal on each one. And I won't say, it really isn't a rebuttal. Like, there's one part where he says, like, here you say that the media didn't cover these conflicts in the early 90s, but then you don't elaborate on them. It's like, bro, if you didn't know the Transnistrian War, Abkhaz War, all that stuff happened, like, I'd have to make another video to explain that to you. These are like basic, indisputable facts that these conflicts happened and that Russia was involved in them and they led to frozen conflicts. So what I did is I briefly skimmed it. These rebuttals are mostly bullshit, and I kind of just look at the whole thing. 48 points, all with timestamps. That took a lot of work, didn't it? And I just fucking deleted the whole thing. And then, of course, I posted about that on Twitter. And what I did was I didn't even put any of his arguments on there either. I just showed that I had like 48 points. I just want to show how much work this guy did. And it was all for nothing, because that's what happens when you try to come at me with bullshit. I don't take the time to deal with that. That's how you deal with bullshit. You don't sit there and try to debunk it, because you'll be there forever. But anyway, that was fun. But yeah, right now, like, those guys, they don't have time to try to sell copium to me because they're dealing with their own things at the moment. Where the hell is this supposed to be? I can't remember if you're supposed to go down here. If that, I don't know if this counts. It seems like it would be here. Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. Well. Oh, yeah. Now all those guys are really dealing with, like I said, they're all going through some things. This is just hilarious on so many levels. Let's try digging in the lower level. I think I can. Hang on a second. Let's put a guy here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, I think I know what's going on here. Yeah. Someone's asking me if I'm going to play Final Fantasy 16. Probably not. I'm going to be busy for a while, and, you know, it has to do with my PC and everything. But what I'm really looking forward to, I just finished the Final Fantasy 7 remake, and the downloadable, or the expansion, or whatever, finally came out on PC. I loved it. It was, finally I got into that, like, real-time battle, that, you know, the newer systems, post Final Fantasy X systems, and I was actually able to, like, understand it and enjoy it. And I'm really excited to see what they're doing. And the next part of that rebirth is going to come out sometime in the end of this year, I think. So really looking forward to that. Let's see. Call of Duty. Yes, I have. Oh, hi Riley, how's it going? Yeah, actually, I have played Rebel Inc. on my phone. That was interesting. Oh, I'm still. Yeah, let me. Let's do this. Let's see what they look. Yeah, something is down here. Oh, okay, it's like right here. Right about here. Never actually played New Vegas, just because I was never really much of a Fallout fan. I never really got into it. It's hard for me to get into RPGs because to get into an RPG, I tend to need some time. It needs to grow on me. Anime Zelensky. Potion. Oh, come on. Okay, you know what? Let's go get into some fights because this is not fun. I'll come back to that later. FF7, when you're actually trying to do quest, is not the best game to play. Of course, you don't want to be going and advancing the plot right now because you don't get to enjoy it as much. Oh, a dragon. This guy is gonna hit me in the back here. Violent advance. Wow, he did 78 hit points with that. Okay, I guess that is a Russian violent advance. Of course, he's attacking from the back, so my guys are weaker. Yeah, so people are asking me, am I interested in Final Fantasy 16? Yeah, I'll probably get around to it. I tried to get into 15. I just never really had the time. Funny thing, I would play it a little bit. I got somewhere. I got distracted by this whole war thing. I came back and I just flat out forgot to play it. And see, that's the thing I wanted to say about RPGs earlier, is that you need to, like, get into the system. You know, you need to learn the system, and there's sometimes when I'm not in the mood to learn all that. You know, I don't want to read shit. You know, so all right. Yeah, so now people are asking about Ukraine taking advantage of the coup. Oh yeah, like, we're going to be able to take advantage of the coup one way or another, simply because, like I said, you know, they take Rostov, they take the southern military district offline for a while. That's going to have cumulative effects, even after they restore order. And, of course, they're going to be... This is actually a tough guy. I'm going to fuck this guy up. Let's manipulate him. Oh, that didn't work. Let's summon the... Alexander. Not really who you'd use here, but... Alright. So, anyway, yeah, this is, like I said, the Wagner guys, they want to fight this to the death. They need supplies, and the supplies are sitting right there in rail depots in Rostov. If they're smart, they may have tried to time this so that they know what shipments are there at the time. And if they're really willing to fight it out to the death, this guy's actually pretty tough. That's weird, though. He can't do much damage, but he can certainly take a lot. Just gonna hit him like that. Should I definitely? Do I have that? Nah, I'm just gonna keep doing this. I need to relink some materia. Yeah, so anyway, you know, what you see happening right now is, like I said, Ukraine is making steady advances. I don't see a breakthrough yet, but I think what's going on right now is they're probing and they're seeing where the best place is to strike out. They've done this before. It is, you know, they're very good. Zaluzhny especially is good at just feeling the situation out and, you know, feeling the situation out and, you know, looking at opportunities and seizing on those opportunities. That's what's probably going to happen. Like I said, they're in a better situation to do that because of those internal lines. Like, what means is, like, from, you know, from out of Kramatorsk, Kharkiv, whatever you need to do, you know, you can reroute fairly easy. You can reroute you know, resources. I'm just looking at a very important question, probably more important than anything else here. Tifa or Aerith? Now, speaking about Aerith, you know, there's always this controversy. Should it be Aerith, like in the original release Final Fantasy, or Aerith? Are you dead, Barrett? Jeez. He's small. Oh, yeah, I use the... I have an item to remedy that, but I'll just do that after I kick this guy's ass. There we go. Now, I'm going to go with Tifa. I do agree, why not both? But I would go with Tifa, just because she's a fighter. And not for the I know some of you have a different idea of why, but nah, fighter, definitely. But it's really fun. This is one thing I hate about JRPGs, especially Final Fantasy games, is that you will often have this male character who is just doted on by multiple women, obviously just all over him. Like in the remake, even Jesse is, you know, trying to get with Cloud, and the dude is just like, why are all these women talking to me? What's going on? You know, it's just really, really funny. But yeah, people are asking, like, how long will this take? You know, how long will this go on? I don't know. It depends on. I think there's a lot of things going on. I don't want to do that. There's Tifa right there. What's up? That's another thing. Another advantage of Tifa. Excuse me, not Tifa. Tifa is that Tifa lives, so that is very important. Spoilers again. Yeah, as the prominent Italian political figure Tifa Lockhart. Hey, it's a Tifa. Buongiorno. But yeah, so screw around here. I want to see if the ultimate weapon is by that lake. Should be here. I'm not gonna fight it now. The thing is, if you look at me, I think I got Cloud on level 60, and the weird thing about FF7, this is why my favorite is actually FF8, and the reason why I beat 8 before beating 7, and 8 is a game like, you can't just go back into 8 and beat 8 anytime you want, because that final boss battle is at random. You know, she's going to pick 3 characters, and then how the fight's going to go all depends on what character she picks and how you manage that, and it can be different every time. But the other thing is, like, you need everybody leveled up, and this is the one that goes out of Coral. Everyone needs to be leveled up, and yeah, when after 8, I went and played 7, and I just kind of rushed through it. This is back when I was in the U.S. Army. I sort of rushed through it, and I beat it with Cloud as my highest character at level 60. He's already at level 60 now. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Well, see, people say the system in FF8 is broken, but like the reason why the system is different is in FF8, every time a character gets 1,000 experience points, they level up, which is very different from most of these games where there's like a certain amount that, you know, keeps going up. Like early on, only need so much experience to level up, and then that, you know, the amount you need gets bigger and bigger. But in 8, it's just even 1,000 character levels up. But here's the thing about 8 is that it's not all about leveling. It's a lot about junctioning, which I know a lot of people don't like. But when you get a handle on the system and when you get more the GF summons, it allows you to junction more things, and like you'll finally get the hang of it. It's a challenge, you know. But I will say, like, I've got a game saved. I've got a game saved on FF8 right now, the remastered, right at the final boss. I attempted it, I think, 2 to 3 times this last time and didn't beat it. Because part of it's memory. I do have most of my characters, you know, leveled up and well equipped, but I think I need to rearrange that. But like I said, it's very random. Like the first time when I actually beat the game, I tried again a little while later and couldn't beat it. You know, I think I beat it probably about 3 times in my life. As far as like gone to the final boss and failed, many more times. Okay, I think just for fun, we're going to take another run at that stupid sunken airplane thing because there is a summon materia that I want to get from it. Very important. Greetings from Canada. Okay, so yeah, like I don't want to distract anybody, but right now, as I understand, like there's 2 things you could be watching. You could be watching. Oh no, I don't. I've never gotten a gold chocobo. So I've never got that particular summon, the Knights of the Round. I may do it in this run just because why not? I'm trying to do, in this run, I'm trying to do a lot of things I didn't do in the 2 previous runs of this game. Yeah, getting back to, you know, what you could be watching now. So we got 2 things going on. We have, you know, the meltdown that's happening in the streets of Russia. And then we have the meltdown amongst Russia's fans. It's like, what did you guys expect? The problem is you all decided to simp for a country and a culture that you did not understand. You know, you thought this was the easy way to get clicks and, you know, to get money and stuff like that. In the case of like in Hinkle's case, to get a girlfriend. You know, one second. You know, you didn't do any research. They didn't do any research on the history of Russia and all this stuff. Actually, you know what we need to do here? Let's rearrange some stuff. Let's put Tifa in there because Tifa is 54. And then let's equip Cloud with... This is going to take... Oh, where's my ribbon? Okay, we'll equip Tifa. Hang on a sec. We're going to... Oh, no, I think Barrett has the ribbon. Let's see. No, he has Bolt Rain. Okay. That means that Kate Sith has... Who has my ribbon? See, this is another reason why I like 8. You can switch a lot easier, if I remember correctly. Yuffie, do you have my ribbon? Yes, you do. Okay, good. Okay, I guess I could leave her in there, but I'm going to put Tifa in here. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, no, it is just really funny. I mean, it's downright hilarious to me how these people, they didn't do any research to see what they were dealing with, what they were getting into. They just thought, wow, I'm going to ride this whole anti-wokeness thing to, you know, to fame and riches. And in the case of Hinkle, free girlfriend, well, I mean, she's not really free, I can tell you that much. And like I said, like look what's happened, you know, like, and now they're all like, oh, what's going on? Why does this country work this way? And it's like because it's escort guard. It's a bodyguard for an escort. I think that is a. But that was armor. Let me just check this real quick. Escort guard. Yeah, what the hell is that then? Okay, well anyway, yeah, like these guys are like, well, how is this, like, who am I supposed to support? I mean, like, Jackson Hinkle, you know, he was putting out, is that a materia back there? Oh, I guess it's a light, okay. Yeah, someone's asking if I could play this game and talk about Russia. This is a very old game. Okay. This is probably undead, so let's try Alexander here. That's a powerful enemy. I forgot how dangerous these guys are. Luckily, I think this is an undead enemy, so Alexander is a holy elemental, which means he does extra damage on these things. Yeah. Like I said, like, dudes are panicking now. Because they, some of these people, they stake their whole career and identity on this. Yeah, creepy touch. Oh, we got Scott Ritter in the game. Okay. I have a feeling I should be using a Phoenix down on this guy. Let's see. It's worth a shot. It will be an insta-kill if this is undead. 0. Okay, well, yeah, so it's just funny when these people pretty much, made their whole identity about Russia and just regurgitating the propaganda, and they thought they're on the gravy train, and they, they just didn't understand what they were dealing with, and, now they know. Whoa! Just knocked her out with that slap. Okay, let's see. Phoenix down. Alright, whoa! Okay. Hit him with the limit break, Barrett. Wow, the enemies in here are no joke. I should probably level some people up a little bit more, re-equip them. That satellite goes underwater. Okay, at least we killed that thing. But, yeah, no, once again, like, it took them forever and thousands of lives to take Bakhmut, but, one second, but they took Rostov without a fight, which is absolutely hilarious. Let's do Cure 2. Do we have, she has ribbon on her, okay. Russia is a great country and the women are the hottest in Europe. Okay, dude. Sure. Oh, double cut. Okay, I'm gonna get the hell out of here, but I want that. Materia. If I put this on here by itself, will that work? Double cut to skeptics. Is that automatic or do I have to use that? Okay. Yeah, no, Scott Ritter, all those guys, Ritter, Hinkle, all of them, they are having quite a time, I think, and good, because, they're horrible people. Speaking, I just wanted to point something out. So people are talking about the NAFO rounder table, so... I'm a big fan of Dylan Burns. He's doing a lot of great work there. Many of you know that I was interviewed by him. I typically only do interviews with people that I know or people who are friends. Certainly had offers, but I'm not really that interested in a lot of them. But yeah, so I was. People are asking if I'll go on that round table if they invite me. I mean, Dylan was on there recently. There's several people that we kind of follow on YouTube that, or sorry, on Twitter. Twitter that that were on that rounder table. I'd be happy to go on there if I have the time. For one thing, it's a lot easier for me. It's a lot easier for me to take care of audio issues with that. I've been on a few podcasts lately. One of them is called Intrigue Explained. That was a two-parter. I put the first part up on here. I'll put the you can look up Intrigue Explained podcast, and you can listen to either part as you want. You can download it if you want. I will put the second part up on my channel later. Other than that, I was on Ukrainian Toronto television podcast. That's a lot of fun. Should be with them again soon. I wanted to bring up one more thing. About Twitter. Is that if you follow me on Twitter, it's at SpaghettiCozak.com. I'm running a fundraiser, and unfortunately, like some of that magic that I had last October, where we could raise lots of money, not only for my own team but others, very quickly. Some of the magic is gone, and you got to raise a lot of money lately, and so I just, if you go to my Twitter account at Spaghetti Kozak on Twitter, just check out the pinned tweet there, and there are some donation addresses. We're trying to get a nice 338 Lapua Magnum, a new one for a very special purpose. We'll say it's a very special military operation. All I can say is if you like seeing Russia in chaos, you'll want to support us on this. And I know it's a high-ticket item. We've already raised a lot of money for it in one place. No, that's for the meteor hits. This is Russia now, right? But yeah, if you look there's Monobank and there's a PayPal. The volunteer I work with, Alexander Bogdanov, is very useful. Been very useful to the team. So yeah, we're actually counting on that long range to do a lot of work for us. And so I ask if you have some money to spare for that. But I raise money. I help other teams, other military people raise money in Ukraine. The real people, people are actually doing the work. I always boost the real Ukrainian NGOs like Razom. There should be a Razom fundraiser in all my longer videos. And then there has been what was I gonna say? There's I lost my train of thought there. So many things happening, but yeah, there's also the fundraisers. So the Razom fundraisers, and then there's the ones that I do. And like I said, I don't like to handle money typically, so that's why Alexander takes care of all that. And unfortunately, sometimes when you try to raise money now on Twitter, what's happening is that scammers will like clone your account, and then what they will do, let's give it a power list again. Okay. What they'll do is they'll try to get people to donate to another PayPal. So one thing is, if you look at my pinned tweet, you'll see the PayPals I use. I don't use one for me. There will always be a Monobank link there. So if you ever see anybody trying to impersonate me, call them out. We got one tried to do that recently, and we got them suspended from the platform pretty quickly. What was also funny is that thread got attacked by a bunch of Russian trolls, and it's really funny how obvious that it was a trolling attack, because many of these guys seem to be under the impression that I'm trying to raise a bunch of money for a bullet, for not a 338 Lapua Magnum rifle, which these things can cost like minimum $7,000. But we're actually trying to raise a bunch of money to buy 338 Lapua Magnum cartridges, which is idiotic beyond belief. So, okay, let me try the battle arena. This is the first time I've tried. You go here to get his final limit break. Hey, what the hell are you talking about, lady? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can always get more GP. So the secret to this is I've equipped the ribbon, which blocks all status effects. So we're going to have random handicaps in this. Oh, someone is saying that Prigozhin is actually in Rostov. Before that, he was hanging out in Bakhmut all the time. If he's come to Rostov, that's a big issue. There's definitely been some actual fighting here, and that is very important. There's been some actual fighting, so people trying to say this is all theater, it's not. Like probably some lives have already been lost. I believe a helicopter has been shot down. So this is very realistic theater. These are method actors really committed doing a Daniel Day-Lewis type thing with Kubrick as the director. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, they might shell. They might shell them. I'm just looking about Dylan's interview. Yeah, I would like to see Dylan's interview if I get the time. No, I did not play any of those. Let's see, let's start. Here we go. Ah, that's good. See, if they take my magic points, doesn't matter because I don't set up Cloud as a magic user in this. I have a feeling. Yeah, so I got counterattack and I got 2 slashes. Yeah, you're gone. Okay, we got the. Okay, down 5 levels, jeez. Okay, shouldn't matter too much though. Yeah, Seagal has a lot of passports actually, but I saw so there's this video called God, it's called like Space Ice or something, and the guy does these like funny trailer type reviews of Steven Seagal's like more recent movies, and of course they're awful, but they're awful in ways, oh dear, they're awful in ways that is just insane. And one of them he's supposed to play like a Russian, and he tries to do a Russian accent that goes about as well as you would expect it to, which is not good. I'm going to need to heal up a little bit at some point. I think I should. I feel like I should probably just do that now. These guys can't do a lot of damage, so what I will do is we'll do an X potion now. Shit. Okay, let's just beat the next guy with the limit break. Yeah, let's take care of this guy with finishing touch. What's his name? Seagal does actually have Serbian citizenship, and he does travel around a bit. I have a feeling that he's spending more time outside of... oh, I got poison. Okay, we need to use an X potion here. Luckily, I think these guys won't mess me up too badly. Toxic barf. Okay, well that's gonna miss because that is a poison attack. Oh wait, no, I'm not poisoned because I had the ribbon. Yeah, okay. So we just need to worry about healing. And because I have counterattack, those guys hitting me still get some hit without me using anything. Okay. And you just wasted your turn, buddy. Alright. So, let's see. Where's my double cut? Come on, counterattack him. Okay. So, he's gone... What are we on? We're on like 6 battles so far. But yeah, oh, congratulations on the bread. Are you shitting me? Tissue. Okay, yeah, we need a tissue. Alright, probably what I should do is just level him up more. Like I said, I beat the game at level 60 once, but what are we at now? 57? Yeah, now we just need to level him up more. And because we divided actually what we need to do now is we need to get some more GP so we can keep fighting in there. So the best way to do that is to go to the Wonder Square. Where is it? Yeah, you know, it's funny, you can see how they did this like high-res remaster because you look at the textures on him, but look at all this, like he can't freaking read this crap. Alright. Yeah, Ian, we do have a way to deal with those helicopters. It's called man pads. That was one of my jobs out there. Problem is, a lot of times those helicopters are just lobbing rockets. They've got, for the counteroffensive, they've got a bit more bold, but they're firing mostly at vehicles that are already disabled. But they're more bold in the sense that they're actually staying and trying to engage with their ATGMs. What they've been doing a lot of is just kind of lobbing rockets, and in my last air defense missions, you know, we were going out there sitting in holes, and I was standing alone in the tree line with the Stinger, and I could, you know, what do you call it, hear them. I could hear them the whole time, but they weren't actually, you know, coming out. So, and that's what they do. They stay behind the tree line, they'll lob the rockets, and then go away. You can't even see them. And with the Stinger, we do need to see them. Yes, I see that about Cloud, but the thing is that they could have redone these, touched up these 2D drawings. Okay, let's play this. Menu, cancel, and switch. Okay. Forgot what the sonar button is already. Let's start with this one. So I need to let this guy go. There we go. We already got a lock on him. Are you hitting him though? Because I don't hear the sound. We gotta slow down. Oh. There we go. Okay, so this should get us some GP. I have a feeling that I can probably beat the battle arena thing. I think that time was just unlucky, but if what are you doing? Where are you going, dude? Did we get him? Huh. Okay, I guess he's dead. Okay, sonar. Where's our sonar? Upright, forward. Okay, let's look around. Yeah, so, oh. Get up there. Why can't I go up? Up. Okay. I'm just confused as to why it is going. There we go. Go up. All right. That's weird. When there's a part where you have to do this mission, like you know, like as a real thing, not just like as a video game, and it wasn't a problem like this. I don't remember the control. I thought my controller was screwed up. So, there we go. There we go. Okay, fire. There we go. Come on. My camera angle's all screwed up. Where'd you go? All right. Yep. So, yeah. No, we'll just have to see how this Wagner thing pans out, but obviously Ukraine is watching carefully because there could be some deceptive aspect to this. I'm sure of that. But there's just no way this doesn't benefit Ukraine. Just absolutely no way. I just think this is absolutely hilarious, and yeah, Russia's in trouble. They fucketh around, they findeth out. Trying to remember, that's down. Which one is down? You don't actually get punished for running into walls. You know, I'm playing this thing and I haven't made a single. I have not made a single Hunt for Red October joke. So I don't know if I should be proud of that. I do not remember how I went up. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. It's like an airplane control. Okay. It doesn't control the way the other sub works. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's probably the last one. Now what we need to do is back up a bit, get a lock on him. You arrogant ass! You've killed us. Okay, there you go. That's your Hunt for Red October meme today. Let's fire a bunch of torpedoes at this guy. We got him. Don't even remember what you're supposed to actually be doing here. I think you're supposed to be just eliminating all the other subs. Like that one right there. Oh, hello. You can't hit me with a torpedo. I was so close to the torpedo too. I turned into the torpedo. Remember, that's what Marco Aurelius does. There we go. There we go. All right, accelerate. I guess we got him. Let's turn around. Oh God, yeah, that joke was inevitable. I, I'm just fascinated. By, I mean, I know about water pressure and pressure holes and stuff, but man, like when people start getting into the details of what actually happens when you get a it's an implosion like that underwater, what happens to the air that's inside the sub at the time. It's both horrifying but also fascinating, to be honest. Like, those guys got no warning at all. They were gone. And, okay. Uh, yeah, that was just a ridiculous story. I mean, this is something about, being in a war and everything is, I realize that people are going to die, but one thing I hate is when people die for stupid reasons. And you will see that happen, and it's like, even when you see it happen to like the enemy, like this, the Russian guy in the trench video, the 73rd Naval Special Warfare Unit. There's the guys who left their weapons behind, and are obviously probably trying to get them. And yes, it is. They were not surrendering, so it was entirely legal to shoot them. But there was that one guy who did have an AK and just came around, not checking the corner at all. And he gets like 1 second to understand there's a guy there with the gun, and then it's over. It's done. And that is, when you really come to terms with how things can be, especially like I said, when you actually go out there and you get shelled. I've been shelled. We've had tanks fire at us and stuff like that. When you understand how random and instantaneous it can be, it is, it's a scary thought. It really puts the fear of God into you, especially when you get to my age. I'm over 40 now, so you start to think about dying more because it's going to happen. And so when you see something like dudes getting into a submarine, and the provenance of this submarine is not too not too good, and then they just they go down there, and like I said, they just get like atomized by the water pressure and everything. Beardo. We were talking about Beardo earlier, the guy who doesn't check corners. There's a rumor going around that he's Semyon Pegov, better known as War Gun. Oh, we almost ended up like those guys. I'm not really checking corners ourselves here. What hypocrites we are. Can you please back up? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Fire off a spread. But so it's an interesting thing to even contemplate, because it's really hard. When you talk about stuff like these compressions happening at that speed, like you can't imagine it in movies. When we show a submarine hull failure or something, like we have a way to visualize it, and there's water coming in and all that, and you don't see that explosive compression or whatever. I was gonna say, no, I'm not interested in War Thunder. I don't have a security clearance, so I don't have any interesting things to leak on that espionage platform. So yeah, for those of you not familiar, War Thunder is a game, online video game that has become synonymous with guys who have security clearances and work for defense contractors, basically leaking classified documents for the purpose of impressing people, or actually the most important thing on the internet, which is, of course, winning internet arguments. There is nothing more important than that, even your job or your personal freedom. So yeah, it's been famously associated with where is that sub? Come on, attack me or something. This is the shittiest Ace Combat game I've played. But yeah, like it's guys are trying to win arguments about what tank is better, what component on this tank makes it superior to this other tank, and eventually someone's like, well, guess what? I work at General Dynamics. Checkmate, motherfucker. And they go and leak, some kind of document or blueprints or whatever to win the argument, and then ding, you just violated the Espionage Act, you utter moron. So yeah, good times. And it's funny because, like, if ever there was a place where if you want to get leaked information from somebody, go after nerds. Go after, because when it comes to intelligence and recruiting spies, there's an acronym MICE, and the E, it's money, ideology, compromising material, basically, and then the other part is ego or excitement. Oh, time limit, finally. All right, do we actually win anything for that? I don't know why the controls felt different that time. 6 of 8. Okay, well, I didn't see anything next to that. I had to get some score. Yeah, so do we win anything there? Oh, I don't think we do. Okay, we need to win something. We need to play something like this. We need a bike. Okay, that's a lot of gil for one video game. Switch and OK to attack to the right. Okay. Try it. Yeah, the bearded dude. No, that bearded dude is dead. We're talking about Beardo again. He is deader than a doornail. That guy got shot several times at close range. Well, okay, if he's in a hospital, if the Ukrainians took that trench and they took the time to, I think they would have assumed that dude is dead. The thing about in war is, like, yeah, you will shoot bodies if you drop somebody and there's more enemy there. It is not at all illegal to fire a couple more shots to make sure that that body's down. If it becomes clear that person is wounded and they're like at your feet and they're asking for help with their hands up or something, okay, that's a different story. That's not what happened here. But the issue is that in this war, Kazovac is a real problem. I've seen this. There's a lot of the missions I was out on. I was just like, thank God nothing happened to us, because if something did, you wouldn't get out of there quickly. And I was in a situation where we had a guy. There was a guy who died. They basically walked into a bunch of mines. There's a guy who lost a foot. Another guy died. He actually detonated several mines and then detonated another one while we were trying to help them. Get off that truck. Yeah. The mechanics here suck, but yeah. So we were able to get the guy who was missing a foot. He was stabilized, and we got him into an ambulance. Okay, but it was not soon. In terms of, they have this thing in medical care, in like an EMT field called the golden hour, right? It's like if you get a person into the hospital, into care within the hour of the injury, then there's a good chance they're going to survive, and there's going to be like less permanent damage. They're going to keep a limb, for example, or something like that. And reading the chat there. And and so that that golden hour, I mean, you can't be sure you're going to get out like within 2-3 hours that you actually get to the hospital. In some cases, we go out somewhere and you might have to hike. We for example, we were hiking in one mission about 12 kilometers into a forest, and then we went back through the same area, and nothing was going to get in there and get you out quickly. I mean, in the case of the guy with the beard, if they decided that guy's still alive and somebody wanted to bother to get him to the hospital, he might be in a Ukrainian hospital, but he didn't get back to Russia. People were wondering why they were so unprepared for that attack, and apparently what happened is these guys, they're special operators, 73rd Naval Special Warfare Brigade, I want to say, and they got around behind their positions and attacked them from behind, so they weren't expecting to be attacked from that angle. One thing I love about the 73rd is that I like their logo. It's like a bayonet with a little seahorse, and it's a cute little seahorse. I like that because, it's like, we all like skulls, and my little team has a pretty cool logo that I designed. Thank you very much. And skulls and, crossed AKs and stuff like that, but they're like, no, we got bayonet, we got a cute little seahorse, and we will absolutely murder you. So, which is what they demonstrated there. So let's screw around over here for a bit. So, getting into some fights. But yeah, I think I'm probably gonna call it off a little while. I'm sorry the audio wasn't always great. Right now, I think we just have to sit back and watch. I think it's definitely going to be a benefit to Ukraine, but it's just a question of how much and in what way. People ask about my logo. So we're a very small team. Logo's basically it's actually shown in one of the videos I provided Dylan. So it is a flying hourglass with we got the Reaper scythe and everything like that. This is basically inspired by 17th century, especially pirate imagery. Some famous pirates actually had flying hourglass on their flags, and the symbolism there is a type of what they call memento mori, a reminder of death. Basically, winged hourglass means time flies, right? And that is basically what that was inspired by. And and I found some designs that were out there, and I just kind of cobbled some things together, and looks pretty nice. And so that's that. And I think eventually there's going to be a big reveal where we're just gonna. We're going to have some videos, hopefully some FPV drone videos and stuff, because I've been training on that. We'll have those out there with the logo, and we'll get some fame, and that helps because it's helps us raise money, obviously. But we'll see. I'm almost thinking that I should put. I think when you use the double cut materia on Cloud, I think it reduces the damage done, and he's my heavy damage guy, so I'm thinking of maybe. Yes. Let's see. Check in the sky. Yeah. So to answer Icehawk, you always got to be listening, and that can be tricky. Depending on what kind of hearing protection you're using, because you're going to hear drones. A lot of times, sometimes we go out and we be coordinating with our drone people, which really helps because then when you hear a drone come from behind you, know that that's ours. The problem is when it's coming back to them and it flies over you, you're not entirely sure. I've shot at a drone. I shot at a Russian drone. That was my because most of my job there, we were working with big weapons like javelins and stingers, so we didn't get in close to use our rifles. But I was happy to say I fired my rifle in combat. It was just at a drone. It was a slightly bigger drone. It was very visible as a Zala, I think. Had that sort of delta wing appearance to it. Everyone was firing at it. But the thing is, it's sound mostly, and that sound, when you hear that, it's never pleasant, especially when you hear those motors when they stop. Because the thing is, if it's just going by and it's like, it got that Doppler effect and it just goes by and leaves, it's like, okay, fine, But when it's coming towards you, it's like that. You hear it basically, just hovering over you like that, and you're wondering, is it going to drop? Because you don't want to look up. If you look up, The human face is very recognizable. That's why that's how the whole face on Mars thing became a thing. Because if we see something that looks like a human face, we recognize it immediately. It's like something from being a baby, right? So you need to, keep your head down, be undercover, and just hope the thing isn't looking at you intently and about to drop something. Yeah, so no, Wagner definitely seems to have Rostov. This is funny. I mean, one day special military operation, they take an oblast capital, just happens to be in Russia. They seem to have suffered no confirmed casualties as of yet. I think all the casualties have been on the government side because of that helicopter they downed. So yeah, that worked out a lot better than their capture of Bakhmut, and now they've left Bakhmut, and the flanks around Bakhmut are crumbling. So yeah, there's your last big victory, Russia fans. Bakhmut, the 54th largest town in Ukraine. You sure showed the West. Now you lost Rostov. Can't reach. Oh shit. Yeah, I gotta switch to magic. Oh no, I don't. Okay, wasn't paying attention there. I was reading the thing. Oh, okay. We do have some Wagner casualties. 2 Wagner vehicles destroyed. That's good news. Here's the thing. I want every last Wagner guy to die. Okay, these are sociopaths. I don't wish them on Russia itself. These are the people. If you want to fix Russia, if you ever want to see that country be a normal country, guys like that just cannot be allowed to exist. And that's something that's hard for Westerners to hear, but they don't understand the depravity of these guys who have left a swathe of war crimes from Ukraine to Syria to Libya, everywhere they've gone. They just cannot be allowed to exist anymore. So I want them to get slaughtered. It's just I want them to do some damage on their way out because, like I said, we win either way, right? So yeah, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, it would be nice if you just put all these guys in a sort of arena and we could just, make it like a real life Call of Duty game, and just put GoPros on everybody. Yeah, so they're saying that like some kind of negotiation is going on right now, which makes sense. Of course, they want to de-escalate this, but this is just something that you don't do this in the middle of a war. This is not a real military force, folks. This is warlordism. And all this time, Russia's trying to pretend like they're a modern country, that they're actually better than Europe. That they rebuilt the army and they become strong, and no, like, you don't have a coherent military. You invented a private military company, gave it to a friend of the president, and now he's taking over a city, and you're like, you're not going to recover from that. It's only going to get worse because there's no trust now. I don't think there was much trust before. Now there's none. So I'm just going to screw around here because I've been attempting to do different things and so distracted by this that not really succeeding that much. I got to level these guys up anyway. But yeah, this should be fun. Like I said, I mean, the disruption that's going on here. And that's the thing, like, I don't think, we've seen, like, Kadyrov get away with stuff when the FSB wanted to go after him, but I don't think Putin can really allow this, right? And I think the thing is, if Putin really wanted, if it's all about just wanting Shoigu gone, and they wanted, what's his name, Gerasimov gone or something, he'd just do it. He'd just fire them. They could fire them, replace them, and just not really report on it. Just don't report widely on it, which is because the Russian media, the state media, takes its marching orders from the presidential administration every week. Okay, and I know that from inside information. The way, in case you're wondering, so the AP is the administration of the president in Russia, and doesn't quite mean quite the same thing as it does like in the United States, where if you say the Biden admin, we mean like Biden and his cabinet, whereas like in Russia, it's kind of this like special institution that is basically doing a lot of management. Yeah, basically doing a lot of, how you say, like management of his image and everything, because that's the thing is like Putin is not a real president or candidate. He is really just a gangster. I mean, that's like he is a literal gangster if you know his background. And so, you know, the administration handles a lot of stuff, managing optics and everything, and this is bad optics. Like, that's why when people say, oh, this is theater, or like when they, you know, that little drone blew up over the Kremlin, and people were like, obviously this is a false flag. They're just trying to mobilize people because, you know, all the Russians who fled, you know, the first time they tried to mobilize, when they tried to mobilize like 200,000, 700,000 fled the country, those guys would definitely come back and join the military out of patriotic fervor if they thought Ukraine like blew up a drone above the Kremlin, right? So it had to be a false flag. And of course, Putin was going to call a general mobilization on May 9th, and guess what? He didn't. And also, the drone was, you know, basically was one of ours, because that's the thing. This is not. This is a sign of weakness. Putin doesn't want to look weak, and that is weak. You know, you're going to let the war come to Moscow. I mean, it's bad enough coming to Rostov. I'll tell you, like, Rostov-on-Don is way more important than Belgorod. Way more important for a number of reasons. And, yeah, this is just becoming unmanageable. Alright. Oh, we almost got him to level 58. I think we should go back to the battle square if we get to level 58. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? I think I've got another HP plus materia. What I'm going to do is... now, about that drone, I think the drone, it was symbolism. It was definitely symbolism. It was like, look, we can hit you right here. And actually, I will say this. Even with drones with small payloads, you can... I'm going to limit break these guys. I'm going to limit break the next guys. Drones with small payloads can... Oh, I don't want to use a summon. Let's change. What is she doing? Oh, been not paying attention to her health points. Yeah, even if they have a low payload, used against the right thing, they can cause a lot of damage. Against, like, fuel, for example. Because one thing about the FPV drones that I'm told is that they are much less susceptible to jamming, electronic warfare, okay, and even like no-fly zones and stuff like that. They can sort of basically fly regardless of that. So the trick is getting good at flying them, because it's a bit tricky, as I learned from the simulator. But once you do that, you know, small payload, fly that into an oil reservoir, for example, and you get a really big boom. Yeah, so we can put on him. We got luck plus, counterattack, HP plus, but I think I have another HP plus somewhere. Okay, what we could do, because this isn't working the way they said it should, put the time connected to added effect, and I must have an HP plus. I think I have an HP plus on another character, so we just gotta see who has that. Get the PHS. Is it you? So I'll switch out both of these just so we can do this faster. Okay, who has the other HP plus? That's Chocobo Lure. Nope. Perhaps it is Yuffie, or... Let's get Sid in there. I haven't really been using Sid much. Sid, by the way, so if you ever played this game, Sid Highwind there, he has one of the best theme songs ever. And there is a remaster of it. It's like Sid theme remaster that is It's absolutely amazing. You have to listen to this. You listen to that and you think that you are basically a hero marching to war. If you are listening, if it comes on while you're like taking a piss, you're going to feel like that is a piss that is going to determine the fate of the universe. Piss of destiny. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. So if I combine all of these, and I should probably do that as well. I'll risk it. Okay, let's put all the HP plus on. Yep. Okay. Now, when we get the HP limited, let's just use a 10 real quick. Yeah, Putin, Putin, he's not playing four dimensions. He's not even playing chess. Putin is playing Candyland. It's that game for like little kids. And he's losing at it too. Like I would probably beat his ass like when I was 4 and played that game. Yeah, this is hilarious because it's, you know, one of the things is like Putin. There's so many memes that were created about him. He's this tough guy. He's this secret agent. He's you know, really clever. He plays you know, four-dimensional chess, and it's like it's all like the wheels have just been coming off, and it's just so funny to mock these people. Just like I've been mocking the everything they've been saying about Ukraine lately. You know, it's like, oh, some people seem to want to fight this fight over Rostov to the last Russian, and Russia needs to sit down with Russia and negotiate peace and cede land to Russia because we got to save Russian lives. And yeah, it's absolutely funny. Yeah, and Yosef is absolutely correct here about how Putin looks. Like, if you really look at Putin, don't look at like the pose photos. Look at some of the like lesser important what do you call it, like not photo ops, but like when he visits like some factory or school or something like that, and he just kind of stands around like this dork. Someone's asking about Sobinsky, about the Ukrainian military. Yeah, but if you're holding like Canadian citizenship and you don't have Ukrainian citizenship, then they're probably going to put you in a foreigner unit. There are ways to actually join certain Ukrainian units, but it helps if you have a connection to help you with that. However, if you still speak the language well enough and everything, that's going to make things a lot easier, and I think you'll do well. You'll fit in pretty well. So that's what I'd say about that. But yeah, I mean, and this other person. Yeah, no, I would say a person asking about joining. Like I said, you might want to start out asking about the Legion and stuff, but tell them about your heritage, show them the language skills and everything, and you might be able to get in touch with you know, like a regular Ukrainian unit. Which personally, like, that's what I would like to do whenever that opportunity comes up. Yeah, no, the thing about the negotiation there is, oh, wait 1 second. Yeah, like Putin, they really need a negotiated peace. And if you don't mind me, I just want to check on one thing. I'm afraid I may have blown up a soda in my freezer. This could be just intrusive thoughts. Let's find out. Be right back. Alright, good news everyone. Turns out I didn't put a soda in the freezer at all, so it couldn't explode. Okay, yes, I'm catching up on the chat here. But yeah, no, like I said, I mean, I think Russia should be prepared to make territorial concessions and negotiate with Russia because this, I think, Russia kind of provoked the war with Russia expansion. Russia expanded to Russia's borders and then expanded over them, and they provoked. Hey, Grigori, how you doing? I know you. But yeah, so they provoked, this response, and so Russia should negotiate with Russia and give up territory to Russia. I'm sick of these warmongers that say that Russia should fight to the last Russian against Russia, because this is just a proxy war between Russia and Russia, and also between like North Korea and Iran and Russia, and so what we need now is peace. Code Pink needs to be out there. March, totally great news today. yes, very much so. Okay, let's get our ass kicked again here. Here we go. We might actually get through this time. But yeah, so So this has been quite a day. Let's end this one quickly. And I guess we'll have to see as it's unfolding, see what happens over the next day. Yeah, it is interesting that I'm looking here, and Code Pink hasn't really done a statement on this. I'm sure in DC they'll do a protest at the Russian embassy and tell them they need to give up territory to Russia in order to end the violence, because of course that's the most important thing, right? Okay. Yeah, obviously I've been having a lot of fun with this. So what is this? Item command is sealed. Okay, that could be a problem later. That could be a huge problem. Yeah, about those units that surrendered to Wagner, I think it's not so much that they have switched sides, it's just they don't want to fight. And I think they don't even know what's going on. I think some of these guys think if they do fight, they might be in trouble later. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Those are weird little things. The Ukrainians doing well. They're just kind of waiting. Waiting this. I mean, they're advancing. They're advancing in several directions, but I think right now it's trying to be determined how we can capitalize on this insane thing that's going on. Yeah. Oh no. There goes the whole advantage that I had. Okay, we're probably not going to come off too well here. I forgot there's a break all your materia handicap. Luckily, Squall is pretty powerful just based on the stats. As you can see there, he still hits pretty hard. These little guys, though, they can take a lot of damage. Yeah, this is not good because we don't have item, we don't have magic. Oh, it's not good at all. Good night, Joseph. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, we really got to see what Putin does in all this. I would not be surprised if Putin just kind of disappears for a few weeks, which is something he's done in the past. Yeah, we're not going to win this time. Yeah, I think what we need to do here is we need to be more careful with the materia, obviously, because when your defense is based on that, let me see, do I have enough to register again? I could do it, but I don't think I'm going to do it now. I want to level up more, so I want my levels to be higher without materia. Alright, well anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I'm sorry about the audio issues in the stream. Like I said, it was kind of unplanned, but we have some unprecedented events going on, and I just can't ignore that, and I don't have time to make a separate video on it. So let's just all keep watching, not jump to conclusions. Yeah, if Budanov is calling, if he is calling Prigozhin an agent, this is basically just trying to get him killed. And it's a good idea. Obviously, we do not want Prigozhins in this world, but you know, these people serve their purpose. That's the thing, is like, you know, narcissistic, mega, you know, egotistical morons like this can be used for good purposes. So anyway, I am going to sign off for now. Just keep following on Twitter. Please share that latest video around. It's doing numbers so far, but you know, it has made a small impact in revenue because they cleared up that ad thing. But you know, just spread it far and wide, because I want to see that type of thing getting recommended by the algorithm. I do plan to do some kind of bonus content about that later. Check out the other videos where we have you know, different fundraisers, and just so you can hear me talk on different podcasts. Also check out Ukraine Toronto Television. You can see my appearance on there, and there'll be another one there soon, I hope. So yeah, just keep sharing that, and stay tuned, and also always, you know, follow me on Twitter. Check out that pinned tweet if you can spare anything. The team will certainly appreciate it. Budanov will stop staring at you in silence if you donate enough. And that's about it. So good night. Thanks to all the well-wishers, and keep up the good fight on the information battlefield. And I will catch you next time.